Hello everyone, and welcome to our video. Today we will discuss the prison cell security of one of the world's most notorious drug lords, El Chapo. Joaquin Guzman Lara, better known as El Chapo, was once the head of the powerful Sinaloa cartel responsible for smuggling massive quantities of drugs into the United States. After his extradition from Mexico in 2016, El Chapo was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Still, with his history of escaping from prison, the question of his security while in custody became a major concern. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the measures put in place to ensure that El Chapo stays behind bars and examine the impact these measures have had on his life in prison. So, stay tuned as we dive into the world of El Chapo's prison cell security. Joaquin Guzman Lara was born on April 4, 1957, in the mountainous region of Sinaloa, Mexico. He was raised in a low-income family and left school at a young age. Despite his limited education, El Chapo showed a talent for business and began working in the drug trade in his early 20s. He quickly made his way up, eventually becoming the head of the Sinaloa cartel and a famous drug lord worldwide. Throughout his career, El Chapo was known for his cunning and brutal tactics and his ability to evade capture by authorities. Despite multiple arrests and escapes from prison, he continued to run his criminal empire and expand his influence. However, after years on the run, El Chapo was finally captured in 2016 and extradited to the United States, where he was eventually convicted and sentenced to life in prison, plus 30 years in 2019. Despite his reputation as a notorious criminal, El Chapo continues to be legendary in popular culture, inspiring movies, TV shows, and songs. Joaquin Guzman Lara was once one of the strongest drug lords in the world, heading the Sinaloa cartel, a criminal organization responsible for smuggling vast quantities of drugs into the United States. El Chapo's trial and conviction have also significantly impacted the drug trade and organized crime in Mexico and the United States. The Sinaloa cartel, which he once led, has been severely weakened by his extradition and conviction, and the ongoing crackdown on drug trafficking organizations has significantly impacted the flow of drugs into the United States. However, after years of evading capture and several arrests, El Chapo was extradited to the United States. Before we dive into the prison life of El Chapo, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell icon to make sure you get all of our upcoming videos. El Chapo is serving his sentence at the maximum security prison, deadliest Florence in Florence, Colorado. World's most notorious criminals are kept in this high-security prison. El Chapo, the drug lord, was after money, but many criminals seek something far worse. These problematic criminals get entertainment by watching suffering. Deadliest is a home of such criminals too. For example, Ted Kaczynski, who, in 1966, made 16 homemade bombs and mailed them randomly to people. This former mathematics professor at Harvard University killed 3 people. Another terrorist kept at deadliest was Umar Abdul Mutallab, also known as the underwear suicide bomber. He tried to bomb a plane on its way to Amsterdam, but failed. Michael Swano, another notorious criminal, was so evil that people called him Dr. Death. This doctor used his medical license to poison patients and colleagues. This serial killed 60 people. But you might question deadliest Florence's specialty. Why is it the home of the world's most notorious criminals? This facility is considered one of the most secure prisons in the world, designed specifically to house the most dangerous criminals and terrorists. The structure of deadliest Florence occupies 49 acres of land and can house 490 inmates. It is divided into 6 different security levels. The general population unit has the least restrictions. They get 1 hour of recess, along with the ability to communicate outside. Terrorists occupy the H unit. The unique feature of this unit is that it has no shower. Range 13 is the most restrictive unit where the drug lord is kept. Only a few prisoners have ever been held in this unit. El Chapo was sent here as he was known for his prison escapes. The previous prison, Puente Grande, gave him all the luxuries of prison life. When he was being shifted to an American jail, he decided to plan an escape. In 2001, El Chapo escaped with the help of a guard in a laundry basket. In ADX, criminals are unlikely to bribe the guards. After 13 years, the drug lord was recaptured with the DEA and Mexican government's joint efforts. In his new prison, El Chapo spent 23 hours in solitary confinement. Despite all the restrictions, El Chapo escaped once again. He found a blind spot in his cell. After communicating with his men, he went into the shower and disappeared through a mile-long tunnel dug under his shower. It was only because he corrupted another guard who got him a smartwatch, and he also got a lot of land around the prison. This is not possible in ADX Florence, which has rocks on all sides and an army base nearby. If we talk about ADX Range 13, it is known for its harsh living conditions. El Chapo's cell measures 7 feet by 12 feet and is located in the control unit, a section reserved for the most high-risk inmates. In addition to the physical and psychological toll of his prison life, El Chapo's reputation as a notorious drug lord has made him a target for other inmates. El Chapo is kept in a cell separate from the general population and is under constant surveillance to mitigate the risk of threats and attacks from other inmates. He is also guarded by highly trained and heavily armed correction officers. He is kept in isolation for 23 hours a day and is monitored by cameras at all times. The cell is equipped with reinforced steel doors and walls and is designed to prevent any chance of escape. In addition to the strict security measures in place, El Chapo's prison life is highly regulated, with rigid routines and limited privileges. He is only allowed 1 hour of exercise per day, which takes place in an indoor cage, and is limited to basic medical and legal visits. He is also restricted in his ability to communicate with the outside world, with only a few individuals allowed to correspond with him through letters and approved phone calls. Despite the strict conditions, El Chapo's prison life has not been without controversy. In 2019, he wrote a letter to a judge complaining of the harsh conditions at ADX Florence, including the lack of sunlight and restrictions on communication with his family. He also claimed that he was being subjected to cruel treatment and was suffering from various health problems due to his isolation. In conclusion, El Chapo's prison life is characterized by extreme security measures, strict routines, and limited privileges. Despite his complaints of harsh conditions and health problems, he remains one of the world's most closely monitored and secure inmates. With a life sentence, El Chapo will stay in behind the bars for the rest of his life, a far cry from the life of power and influence he once enjoyed as a notorious drug lord. Despite these challenges, El Chapo continues to be controversial, with many people still holding opinions about him. Some view him as a ruthless criminal responsible for the harm caused by the drug trade, while others see him as a legendary figure who became one of the most notorious criminals in the world. Regardless of one's perspective, El Chapo's life in prison is a stark contrast to the freedom and power he once enjoyed as a drug lord. With this, we end our video. We hope you enjoyed it, and do let us know what you think about El Chapo's prison security measures. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will see you again with another informative video soon.